A new season of the battlefield of time has begun. You ready? Don't let your guard down.
Follow me. See that?
This is the power of House Rhaenyra!
A new season of the battlefield of time has begun. You ready? Don't let your guard down.
Did you call? So sick.
This is the power of House Rhaenyra! Demonic judgment!
make you feel better.
Get out of my sight.
This is the power of House Redeemer! Demon!
You're so irritating.
This is the power of House Redeemer! A knight's duty is to protect.
We meet again. Move! See that?
This is the power of House Redeemer! In a day's work! Judgment!
How's this?
This is the power of House Redeemer! This is the power of House Redeemer!
So simple.
This is the power of House Redeemer! It's not radish. It's redeeming.
Follow me. This will hurt quite a bit. So simple.
This is the power of House Redeemer! to protect.
Did you call? See that?
This is the power of House Redeemer. Demonic judgment. Demonic judgment.
The heavens are angry! Light of healing! Let's attack them! Simple!
This is the power of House Redeemer. not radish. It's redeeming.
We meet again. So sorry.
This is the power of House Radiru. Demonic judgment! The days would... Demonic judgment!
The heavens are angry!
Worn out.
This is the power of House Radiru! How about this?
The heavens are angry!
Get out of my sight.
This is the power of Radiru! In a day's work! Judgment! How about a rest?
The heavens are angry! Light of healing! Blessings to all!
This was an expected outcome. Did you call? See that?
This is the power of House Redeemed! Demonic judgment! Demonic judgment! In a day's work! Demonic judgment! In a day's work! Judgment! This is the power of House Redeemed! Demonic judgment!
Are angry! This is nothing!
Get out of my sight! How's this?
This is the power of House Redeemed! Do you believe it? In a day's work!
Heavens are angry! Light of healing! Let's attack them! Blessings!
How's this? You're so irritating.
Demonic judgment!
Alright, welcome everyone. This is going about as smoothly as I expected, meaning he is not dropping jack shit. This glove came from a generic enemy, did not come from the boss, because the drop pools in this game are a complete disaster. Basically, fighting bosses doesn't really give you anything. The only reason I'm even fighting the boss is because it gives me the hunt coins. And I've already recruited every character into the game currently, so getting, you know, like 70 to 90 hunt coins every single time I kill him
See that?
is still progressing the account, even if, as a legend in the Netmarble gacha community, Forgo Nation once said, the rates are abysmal. This is a Netmarble game too. He's right, the rates are abysmal. I'm still getting progress doing this. So, that is the one silver lining, but it's pretty ridiculous that, like, the only thing that's dropped yellow gear is the trash mobs. The boss has barely dropped any gear at all. He's mostly dropped crafting materials. Now, granted, I could probably sell those and make a small fortune, but the drop rate should not be this bad. It is crazy how bad they are. I thought people were exaggerating, you know, people don't have the patience they used to. But no, they're right. Nothing drops. I'm either gonna, after these 10 Shrek kills, I'm either going to switch to doing keys or just play another game entirely. I've been at this all day. I've been at this all day, and like, the only progress I made was last night. Last night when I maxed out this character. Well, I'm trying to make a guide, that's the thing. But the game won't drop anything, so I'm giving this game an ultimatum. It's only got a little bit longer of life on this channel. It's going to get retired very soon. I am running out of patience. I can be quite patient and persistent, but these drop rates are just hard.
Let's go.
Wait, did it crash or not? Is my stream still on? What is going on with this game, man? Do they even play it? Why did it stutter like that for like 5 full seconds? Is it too hard to? Is it too much to ask for developers to actually play their game? Not have stuff like this happen. I've been fighting the same boss for like hours. He hasn't dropped a single thing. I thought the game crashed. That would have been the end of it right there. I don't think I was going to boot the game back up. Starting to really test my patience. No, it's not the stream, it's the game. If it was the stream, my internet would have went down.
I'll make you feel better.
Yeah, this game's got a lot of problems they need to fix. They're going at a glacial pace. They haven't fixed much of anything yet.
This is the power of Alfrediru. In a day's work.
Why are you not doing the good attack? He keeps doing that, which has like 0 startup.
This is the power of
This character is busted. It's the only thing that's making this somewhat tolerable, but he still doesn't drop jack shit.
It's not radish. It's redeeming.
This boss might as well be dropping radish. They could build a garden off that or something. more fruitful than this. Alright, 3 more kills to go. Not a single thing has dropped. There was one yellow gloves that dropped, and that's it.
Did you call?
It's gonna be hilarious if I do like one key run after this and something actually drops, but I don't know how much more patience I've got for this game.
This is the power of House Redeeming.
Classic example of putting out a game that they don't play themselves. Problems with this game and its decoupling from being a gacha game are so apparent, but somehow it's taken them a real long time to fix it. People were like leveling up on the spiders. Well, the benefit to this game over Relink is that it will get more content, and hopefully they will fix stuff like what I'm doing, where just horrible drop rates, getting nothing, and like playing the whole game for a day and like not feeling like you accomplished anything. Like, I think they barely, someone told me they barely only adapted like half of what's in the gacha game, so I'm sure it will be coming. Because that was the main problem with Relink. Relink also had a lot of these problems as well, just like really shitty drop rates for like something that's like $70. I expect drop rates, and you know, if I'm playing like a free-to-play game or something, but these developers don't seem to understand you gotta scale that shit back when you're charging people full price. They do not seem to understand that. Relink had a lot of the same problem, but Relink was also held back by, you know, they didn't do any real content for it. They did like a couple minor patches and like a raid boss, and that was it. So, combat in this game is nowhere near as good as Relink. Not even close. But it could end up being a better game in time, depending on how they update it. Fix these horrible drop rates. Why didn't you parry? I pushed the button.
How's this?
Just drop something, please.
The heavens are angry.
The stats are all messed up. Yeah. I think like barely anything in this game works, except the combat.
I'll make you feel better.
It actually reminds me a lot of Peak of Combat 1.0. That game was getting a lot of the game still gets a lot of glazing it doesn't deserve, because they see the videos that people put up for 1.0, like the ones that I put up and other people. Like, that game was a lot like this. It had zero content. Only thing that was good about it was the combat.
The heavens are angry.
The combat in this game is actually not bad. It's the balancing is terrible, and then also
Blessings.
balancing is terrible, and so is the drop rate.
Get out of my sight.
This is the power of House Redeeming.
Really slow fight. Yeah, there are a lot of things in this game that don't work. If I had to give this game a review, I'd give it like a sideways thumb. There are times when it's fun, but the more you play it, the more the cracks start to show. Doesn't help that like the online barely works. So this game isn't even good friend slop. I think this is actually the worst friend slop you could ever blackmail somebody into playing. The online is horrible. It like barely functions. The hitboxes and stuff stop working properly when you're online. You can literally parry and die while you're in a parry. It really did not play this game. Or if they did, if the testers actually listened to the testers actually reported all these obvious glaring flaws, then the people in charge of getting it fixed didn't care. or weren't given the green light to, because like I don't know how they ship
We
the
meet
co-op
again.
in this state. The co-op is broken for a number of reasons. The netcode is terrible, for one.
You see that?
Also, the amount of scaling that they get is really overtuned. You'll basically die like instantly to anything. And it's like the really half-assed video game difficulty where their idea of making it harder is just giving them an extra digit to each of their stats. So the problem is, like, soloing is so much faster, especially if you use this character. There is no reason to do co-op, basically. Unless you have somebody with a really built version of this character I'm currently playing, the one that's basically soloing, there's no reason to ever do co-op. I am fairly certain I could get somebody into my house on my Steam Deck and be in, like, the other room, like, the closest online match you could possibly have, and it would still lag. Like, the netcode is horrible, and it barely functions. There are probably a lot of people that bought this because it's online. This is not a good co-op game at all. If you want to play something like this with, like, equipment and leveling up and, like, multiple characters to play, like, Relink on sale, despite its laundry list of flaws, is a better use of your money and time, because the online in that actually works. Online in this is horrible. I tried it a couple times. It really doesn't give any kind of benefit whatsoever. I doubt that's something that they will fix either, because it's a problem when they made the game. They cheaped out on netcode, so we all know from fighting games how hard it is to retrofit a game to not have shit netcode. It's not easy. This game sold pretty well, but I doubt that they will do that. It's just incompetence at its finest. Yeah, her overdrive does insane amounts of damage. The thing about it is it doesn't even feel overpowered because of how much health they get and how bad the RNG is to, like, improve your character. Doesn't even feel overpowered.
This is the power of Halford.
This game is just like every other hunting game. People are gonna circumvent ways to kill things quick because you try to do it with skill, and the drop rates don't reward you for doing that. Which is this game in a nutshell. I did all the fights with skill, and, you know, I'm still, like, really far behind, because it's just not dropping anything, so... I am well past the point of caring. The care cup is empty. It's not like the boss fights even change, anyway. The higher you get, the more stats they have, and they become incredibly tanky. So there is no reason to not use her, because it's common video game stuff of doing the same thing for longer. It's like not actually harder, it's just if they tap you on the shoulder, you die, and they take like 3 times longer to kill. The literal most zero effort difficulty that any video game can have, and really, literally just change the stats, add an extra digit. They have 50,000 health, you give them 500,000. They have 500,000 health, you give them 5 million. It's not like this incredibly deep thing. Okay, my button stopped working.
See that?
Can my buttons work, please? Does anything in this game work? This is the last Shrek kill right here. I don't know anything about that guy, and I don't want to sound like I'm hating on somebody. I've never watched a single video, but I can tell you from experience, publishers and PR teams will just go for whoever has the biggest numbers. In reality, they should be going for like big Monster Hunter players, right? Because this game is basically a hunting game where you play as, you know, characters instead of a weapon. That would be the better thing to go. Like, you know, the big Monster Hunter streamers probably don't have a lot to do right now because Wilds is still a mess, devoid of content, and still runs terribly. That would be the better way to go, but they'll just go for anybody who's got numbers. They don't seem to realize that numbers aren't everything. Obviously, you need to be like at least around my size to, you know, have a decent chance of getting keys. But just because somebody has like 6 digits doesn't mean that they're the right fit. But that's not how things work in this industry. A lot of times it really is. They'll just go for the biggest person, and it can definitely backfire. I don't know how much you like the game, but that's a better choice than others. I can tell you guys a story about another content creator who was the absolute worst fit for a game, and they spent like literally all their marketing budget getting him to do it. If people want to hear that story, I'll tell you, because it partially affects me. It affects me in the most like minimal way possible, meaning I was playing the game and streaming it. I can tell that story if you guys want. But yeah, that was a perfect example, because they paid that guy like way more than like the people that were actually playing the game and liking it. They could have given them like 1% of what they paid that guy, and it would have been better marketing than just getting one of the biggest streamers. Getting them to play a game for like even an hour is, we're talking like probably 5 figures. So, complete imbecile marketing team on that game. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But basically the guy was hating on it the entire time he was playing. On one hand, it's like, it's cool to see somebody have integrity, and not just falsely show something as the best thing ever because they're paying their bills. But at the same time, he was hating on it the whole time. And with that game in particular, they had people that were playing it. You know, they were playing it, they were doing it for free, and they were making useful content for it. Like, you could have spent a fraction of what it paid to get that guy to play it for even an hour. And they could have compensated those guys very well, and it would have done better for them. But they decided, we're gonna go for the biggest streamer.
Thank you for believing in me.
It was called Hunter's Arena Legends. It was like a battle royale with a melee combat focus. It definitely wasn't the greatest game ever, but they basically had no one playing at the start, and everybody told them to do sponsorships. And they kept saying, we're listening, we're going to do a sponsorship, and they did it in like the worst way possible. Meaning, the marketing team didn't give 2 shits about the community that was already like organically playing it. They're already making content for it for free. Most of them were around my size, or maybe even smaller. I'm a small channel by today's standards. I'm not a big channel at all. And those channels were around my size, and I can say from experience, I got a $500 sponsorship for Helvetii, which I used to pay for the Steam Deck, and like, for big streamers, that's nothing. But for me, living in perpetual poverty and never having any money, I mean, that was more than enough. I'm not going to ask for more than that. But instead of interacting with those people, you know, they're already playing the game and making stuff for it, they just went for the biggest streamer that they could find, and boy did it backfire. I was in there for a bit on that guy's stream just to see what was going on. Everybody hated the game. He was openly hating on it. And like I said, you know, hating on the game isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think, creating content on here and Twitch and stuff has gotten way too fake. When people just will absolve a game of criticism because they're getting paid to play it. But you have to question, was it worth getting that guy to play the game? I mean, it really didn't accomplish anything. The game shut down, right? Like, it didn't accomplish anything. It certainly did not accomplish what they wanted it to accomplish, which was, you know, growing the game's player base so that, you know, more people would play it and by proxy donate to it and keep it going. That is definitely not what happened. The polar opposite. But yeah, I don't think people should be surprised that that happens. A lot of the people in charge of doing the sponsorships are very tone deaf. They don't interact with the people in the community that will actually, like, organically play it, right? You know, like, they're already playing it without a paycheck. Like, you should support those people. Especially because, like I said, I mean, in my personal experience,
If you bring me the finest
the money I
materials,
made off the Helvetii sponsorship was
ordinary
awesome
materials
because
too.
I had already played the game, right? Like, I was already organically interested
if
in
you
it. I
bring
didn't
me
take the
finest
sponsorship
materials,
because
I'll show you it.
they were paying me. It was something I was going to cover anyway. And honestly, not to be down on myself, but $500 for a sponsorship for a larger streamer is they won't take it. And that's understandable. I'm not saying those people are money hungry. Eventually it just gets to the point where you get so many opportunities and you have to be really careful which ones you take. That's not even accounting all the ones that are straight up scams and try to sabotage your account. Like, you have to be very careful. I wouldn't fault anybody for being apprehensive towards taking one and not just taking everything. I mean, it does help your wallet, but it's not always the best idea. So, Double Dragon Revive is a perfect example. Like, they didn't sponsor anybody to play that. And like I just said before, none of us in the beat-em-up community are rich. None of us are doing this as our primary income. We all have income from elsewhere, whether regular job or, you know, some other kind of income like me. Like, I live on disability, right? So, if I ever stopped with the channel, it would affect me, but it wouldn't make me homeless, right? None of us are making that much money off this. And they didn't interact with any of us. None of us got any kind of, you know, contact with them at all. It's like, well, if you want to sell the game, you should at least, at the very least, you should be giving out keys, right? That should be like the bare minimum, is giving out keys. If there's no marketing budget to, like, actually pay people to play it, at least give it to people that are, like, organically interested in it, right? I mean, it just makes sense. It's a no-brainer. But that is not what they did. They didn't interact with anybody on that game at all. It's actually crazy how much they ignored everybody. And that's why nobody knows that the game is out. That's why it didn't sell. That's why the game came out jank, because they didn't interact with us. You look at Absalom.
Follow me.
Where I was a beta tester. Several other hardcore beat-em-up people were involved in the testing of that game, and it's obviously, like, leaps and bounds better than Revive, right? So, I don't know. You can't feel too bad for companies that are tone deaf. Like it or not, interacting with gamers and stuff is a big part of what makes games successful. And if you don't do it, then it's no one's fault but their own. I would have gladly beta tested Revive for free and given constructive feedback and criticism. And if they listened, it could have been a better game, along with the other people as well, but you know, they didn't interact with us at all. Look at the consequences. The game bombed. I don't know if there's any sales numbers for it. It obviously didn't do as well as they were wanting it to. Like, well, you didn't even give out review keys. That's like the bare minimum. You would at least expect, you know, review keys to be given out. You know, to interested parties that were gonna play, they were gonna buy it and play it anyway. I mean, that's pretty good marketing, but that is not what they did. A Double Dragon Revive is a good example of what happens when you
We meet again.
completely ignore the existing community that already play types of games like that. I'm not even talking about sponsorships. I'm not talking about sponsorships. The basic necessity of giving out keys to like people like me that were going to play the game anyway. It's like basic thing that you do. If you want your game to have any chance of success, unless it's just gets lucky. There's just so many games coming out right now. People aren't really going to look for stuff unless somebody that they follow that's known for playing that kind of game is playing it. That's just how it works these days. You know, I have people that I subscribe to for gacha games. And I don't really play as many gacha games as I used to. I'm really only playing like 2 right now. But I look to them. And if I don't see the game on their channel, I don't hear about it. It's not even exclusive to, you know, you guys watching my stuff. I know you guys do that too. You guys come here for action games of various types and sizes. And some of these games like Overrider and stuff are like really cool. But, you know, they don't have the budget to, you know, do crazy stuff like sponsor big streamers to play it. The only way you're going to find out about it is from channels like mine. I do the exact same thing. I was watching a video on a new gacha today. I didn't even know it was coming out. If that guy hadn't posted the video, I would have never known it was coming out. That's just how marketing works right now, and if you don't want to interact with the community, you can't be surprised when your game fails. Especially because channels of my size are not even realistically expecting sponsorships. The sponsorship for like an actual good, not shit mobile game or something is pretty rare. I don't expect, you know, to get hundreds of dollars in sponsorships. It would be nice, obviously. I'd have to use a donate button a lot less, but I don't expect it, right? So when you consider that they don't,
all the dangerous zones
consider that they don't interact with us on stuff like Revive, it's like, well, no wonder it failed. You put a negative amount of effort into it, and then are surprised when people don't hear about it. I'm like, yeah, I do it too. I'm just like you guys on other channels. And granted, I'm pretty in the know about like action games and beat-em-ups and stuff, but like the average person is not. I mean, they're like 13,000 games on Steam last year or something. It's just not possible to play everything like that. That stopped being a possibility like 15 years ago. It used to be like only medium to large size publishers are putting out games. You could realistically at least like rent most things you're interested in, and you didn't really need to piggyback an opinion off a YouTuber, but that's kind of not a thing anymore. You pretty much have to. So if you can't even do the basic necessity of talking to people in the community and at least giving them a key, then, you know, I can't really feel too bad when a game like that fails. It's like a refusal to do even the bare minimum. Hey, it's doing pretty well. It's doing pretty well. Props to the dev team for making something people actually want. Nothing wrong with that, but yeah, I could kind of tell that game was not for me. It's doing way better than a lot of the other service games are doing right now. So, doing something right.
It's no use. Focus. Release. Tearing through. I'll end it. Now.
I think they barely gave out any keys for this game either. Another example of this was Megaton Musashi. Megaton Musashi Wired. Now, I got ghosted for that key, right? And that's just something that's... You just accept will happen when you're a content creator. Even if you're more than capable to, like, show off the game and market it to people. You know, a lot of the companies are just looking for numbers, right? So I thought it's just like, you know, getting ghosted in the marketing, the PR companies is common. Even if you're a big channel, it's not like they're not immune to that either. It turns out they didn't give keys to that game to anybody, which is why nobody bought it. They didn't give keys to a single person. I had to go on the Reddit. Somebody was asking, like, did anybody get a review key for this? And there were multiple people who said no. And if I remember correctly,
It was a good
I looked at a decent chunk of their channels, and they're, like, more than capable. The people who either played, like, mega games or, you know, anime games, or at the very least, they were playing, you know, grinding instance-based games like this. And none of them got a key. No one bought it. You're starting to see a pattern here. It's a pretty obvious pattern, right? The games that interact with the communities of people that are already going to cover the game anyway, you know, it's beneficial for the company because you're trusting them with the key early. Granted, there can be a strict embargo. Some people are idiots and break the embargo, but for the most part, people obey the embargo. They get to play the game early, which means that they have content out, you know, the moment that the game comes out, which helps sales. Because you're getting to see, like, end-game footage, and you want to see what the end game is like, or, you know, what the performance is like, you want to see the frame rate or whatever. Like, all those things really matter. And if you just straight up ignore the community, the game's not going to sell.
Take this.
People just don't have infinite money to buy, like, every game they have some interest in. Like I said, that stopped ages ago. That hasn't been a thing for a while. Most of the people that watch my channel are around my age, give or take, like, 10 years. Even if you're 10 years younger than me, you were born at a time when there were way less games coming out. So it was a lot easier to keep up, even if you were a kid with no money. Which is pretty much what I was. When I started this channel, I was 19, and I was barely any better off financially than I am now. And, like, the reason that I was able to keep up with new games and stuff was because I used
You're an
GameFly.
unworthy opponent.
But now, there's, like, 90 games on Steam, like, every day. It's depressingly easy for your game to get buried unless you start interacting with the community. The quality of the game doesn't mean much. You can put out a really awesome game and it could get completely buried. There's this really bullshit narrative that's been going around. If you make something good, people will notice. That's not true. In most cases, it is true, but I've played numerous, we're talking like dozens of indie games on this channel where they got nowhere near the success they deserved. They sure as hell didn't have money to sponsor people like me. A lot of those games I didn't even get a key. I bought it with my own money.
Take this. Take this. Shut up. Careless. Take this.
Well, see, that's the other thing as well. Megaton Musashi is a Japanese game, and Japanese companies are a real crapshoot with actually giving a decent discount. There's something to be said about the devaluing of games for sure, but like, it is weird how a game like that basically bombed. Despite being a pretty good game, it had some problems for sure. It didn't deserve to get the bad. Well, the people that made the game did a good job. The people in charge of marketing it did a shit job. They didn't give keys to anybody. See, I thought it was just me, right? You know, my views greatly vary depending on what I'm playing and how much effort I put into it. And if there's any interest in the game at all. I mean, there's plenty of stuff I put high effort into. We're talking a commissioned thumbnail and editing and stuff, and it doesn't do well. And I thought that was why. But then I went on the Reddit, and everybody was asking each other if they got a review key. And everybody said no. It's like, well, what are you expecting then? What are you expecting to happen at that point? That's an example of a good game that got buried by both self-inflicted and things that weren't the game's fault.
I'm ready.
It's not Megaton Musashi's fault that, you know, there's so much crap on Steam and it's just physically impossible to play everything. Even if you were like a millionaire, you just not enough time in the day. But then also, the incompetence of the marketing team, the PR team, is a big reason why it failed. Because that is a pretty high quality game. Something like that you think would get through the cracks of the algorithm and do better, but no.
This is the end.
It, complete incompetence, not interacting with people that were, you know, already organically interested in it, is a death sentence these days. Have to interact with the community. Unless you make like some horror game or French slop or something that just gets popular overnight. But that's not really a feasible business strategy. A lot of those games like Only Up and stuff that got popular have like a shoestring budget, and they're made by like one guy to the point where if the game failed, they're not going to be homeless. We're talking like a medium-sized production with like at least a couple dozen people working on it. You have to interact with the community. Period. It's unavoidable. You can't be surprised if a game fails. You have people literally wanting to explain every facet of the game in very detailed degree. And you don't interact with them at all. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? Content creators, a lot of times you'll hear people say it's not a real job. It definitely is a real job, but there's a lot more that goes into playing games all day. And even if it was playing games all day, you know, content creators don't have any more time in the day than the average person does. We're all on the same planet, right?
I'll end it. Now! Take this! Darkness!
I haven't even caught up with all the character action game stuff. Like, I've got like 2 Spirit X Strike updates I've missed. Ninja Gaiden 4 I still gotta go back on. Like, I'm falling behind as it is, and I play like a very refined type of game, right? I mostly play action games almost exclusively. Or, things that pass for arcade games, like roguelikes, are like the main things that I play. And just these past couple months, there's been so much stuff that I haven't even gotten to.
So, I'm ready.
So, it's getting harder to be like, you know, I don't know if I want to pay $50 for this game if I don't know if it's good for one, and if the community, the company's not interacting with people like me, then it's a lot easier to ignore. Just because of the time limit. It's not really the money. If it was the money, there'd be people, rich content creators playing like every game that comes out, but that's not what they do, right?
Take this.
Yeah, I noticed that Megaton Musashi like never goes on sale. They really wanted that game to fail. It's no fault but their own. Not interacting with the community is one thing, but like game being out for like over a year and having like no sales is pretty laughable as well.
Time for a counterattack. It's no use. Tearing through. Take this. This is the end. Out of the way! Release! the end. Careless. Out of the way. Careless.
I'll open the path.
Focus. Release. Take this. Careless. Take this. It was a good fight.
Well, the good side to having a backlog is you make less frivolous purchases on Steam. Like, I have, like, basically spent nothing on the Steam sale.
Sir, the last dispatch went
The longer
through.
you're on Steam, the
All
less
the
money
dangerous zones have been
you're going to be
cleared,
spending.
and all members return safe, sir.
That's just how it goes, really. You know, if you, like, just go on Steam and, you know, you just get a gaming PC or a Steam Deck and you have, like, even if you're just interested in a very specific type of game like I am, you know, melee combat games and, like, roguelikes and stuff that would pass for arcade games is a very niche thing. You know, if I went on Steam, like, right now, when I, like, just got this computer, yeah, you could totally spend, like, hundreds of dollars on a sale, but eventually, you just pick up everything you actually want to play over time. Whether you get to it or not is a different story, of course, but the longer you're on Steam, the less you're just going to be spending money by proxy. It's not like there's a bunch of really sick roguelikes or beat-em-ups that I don't already have at this point, right? The only thing I'm really going to be investing in is, like, maybe a couple things that don't go on sale that often that I was kind of on the fence about. But all the good stuff basically I already have. And if I don't have it, you know, I just don't really have a desire to play it at the moment. I average, like, on a major Steam sale like the one that's going on, I average, like, maybe probably under $50. We're talking, like, way under 50. I'm not talking, like, 40. Usually it's, like, 20 to 30 tops that I spend on sales these days. Just because, as a content creator, I tend to have things that I'm interested in frame one. And also just because there's not really much else left. If I'm already, like, interested in it, I probably already have it.
If you bring me the fight, do you want...
See that?
This is the power of House Redeemer! In a day's work! Demonic judgment!
Oh, shit, boss. Running away and spamming magic is a bad matchup in this game. The worst kind of boss. Shit boss like this. This game's got some good bosses. It's also got a bunch of these coward mages that just stand back and shoot and, like, barely give you any parry opportunities. It's a bad matchup for who I'm currently using. Shit boss fight.
This is the power of House Redeemer!
He can't get any meter because he doesn't attack. Runs away. I really don't want to fight this boss. Every good, like, melee boss they make in this game, there's, like, 3 bosses like this that are opposite of fun. Shit boss fights. I think pretty much every halfway decent melee combat game has a boss like this. Just spamming projectiles. Nice, I'm just locked in hit stun. Garbage ass boss fight.
It's not radish. It's redeemer.
I'm gonna have to not burst him down, unfortunately. He's not gonna allow me to burst him down. Gotta go all the way to 58. I'm not looking forward to this. Might be better to use Amamiya, because she can probably kill those eyes quick.
How's this?
This is the power of Halfrediru.
Ah, this boss fight is trash. Make a normal boss fight, please. Guy with sword. It's always the best boss fight. Anytime they deviate from guy with sword in these kinds of games, it's always a real crapshoot. Every single time. It doesn't matter how good the game's combat is. When you deviate from dude with sword, it's always a disaster. This boss fight is trash. He's locked in hit stun.
Get out of my sight.
Yeah, you're a coward. Get out of here. The scaling in this game makes no sense. This game is not very well designed. The only thing that's well designed about it is the combat.
Expected outcome.
And combat is held back by the gear system and the scaling, making it so you can fight something like 50 times and get nothing because they don't play their own game.
How's this?
Do you believe in me?
The heavens are angry.
This is the power of Halfrediru.
This game has a lot of really good dude with sword boss fights, but then it also has fights like this that are just zero fun. Because the boss barely fights you, it just shoots.
So simple.
This is the power of Halfrediru.
Nice! Die, please. Shit boss fights.
How about a rest?
Fucking coward.
I'll make you feel better.
This game has a habit of tying the coolest stuff to garbage bosses like this.
Blessings.
Not even challenging, just annoying. Play a melee action game. Make people that... bosses that do melee.
This is the power of Alfrediru!
Alright. He's still getting bursted down pretty good. What a garbage boss, though. Literally just spamming hitboxes.
A knight's duty is to protect.
How many more do I have to do? 2 more. Less time I spend fighting a shit boss like this, the better. People that made this boss have contempt for the people that spent hard-earned money on this game. I spent my YouTube paycheck on this game. My hard-earned, like, 50 bucks that I made. I'm working my ass off on this every day. I spent it on this. And they have contempt for me making shit bosses like this.
How's this? How's this?
Polar opposite of fun right here. Lame-ass wizard.
This is the power of Alfrediru!
It's already a bad fight because I didn't take the stun.
In a day's work. Demonic judgment!
Yeah, go ahead and summon your lame-ass buddies here. Oh, I just love being stuck in hit stun. No, great. Just stuck in hit stun. I can't move. Shit boss fights. I don't know why they keep making bosses like this. They know that no one likes it. They do it anyway.
This is the power
Lame-ass
of
gimmick.
Alfrediru!
Yeah, go summon more. It's always great when a boss spams projectiles and adds. Oh my god, can you stop doing that?
How about a rest?
Stop doing that. Really testing my patience. Trying to make this weapon
How's this?
garbage boss fight.
So simple. See that?
This is the power of Alfrediru!
Of course you don't go the right direction. Oh, this is gonna be torture. You're probably gonna want me to do this like 6 times. Really proud of shit enemy design.
This is the power of Alfrediru!
It's because gamers have historically really loved bosses that spam projectiles and ads non-stop. It's always been something gamers have really liked, right? It's not something that's been maligned for like 40 years now. These guys never got the memo. Bosses like this are the ones that people will literally like fight to craft their gear or whatever, and then they'll never fight it again. It doesn't matter what kind of reward you tie to it, like they just won't do it. So the solution is to not make shit bosses like this. Simple. It's been solved.
This is the power of Alfrediru!
It's like Forehead on Twitch. Just don't make garbage bosses. Alright, that's a good start. Burst him down now, hopefully. He's gonna be a lot more tanky because he's 58 now. I just wish I could just keep him down there forever. Not have him span his little cronies. Oh, great. I tried to tag, and I can't because I'm stuck in hit stun. I'm pushing the button, you're not doing it. Garbage-ass boss fight.
So simple.
How about a rest?
Awaiting orders.
Oh, the heal parry didn't work.
Are angry.
Alright, are you gonna come back or what? You have the ability to just leave the arena. Even better. Stop, please. This boss fight is garbage. Kill them and they just come back. Should stay dead. It's like mob ads fight 101. Don't make bosses that spawn ads that keep coming back. The most, they should stay dead. Never come back for any reason. This is so aggravating. Just make a normal boss. They're capable of doing that, but they don't. Nice, I'm just locked in hit stun. It's like, what's the point of killing them if he just flies away and puts them back again?
Get out of my sight.
That's why Wizard of Legend was cool. Wizard of Legend subverted the wizard trope. The game subverted the wizard trope. They were like mostly melee combatants. No like generic old Gandalf looking guy shooting firebolts and stuff. These guys didn't play that game. Otherwise this would be a sick boss fight. Alright, he's dead now. Not before I get locked in hit stun. How many times do I have to do this? The less I have to do this, the better. This boss fight is horrible. He like barely even attacks. He mostly just stands there. It's just one of those games where they like want you to parry and use the defensive options, which is a good thing. They don't want you to just button mash. The problem is they make bosses like that that barely give you any opportunities. And you notice how much longer it takes. Because I can't even really interact with that boss. It's probably going to take like 2 more. Hopefully the next boss after this is not some palette swap of that guy. Menu is so laggy. Need to just make it so you can auto-select. The only time this game works is when you're actually playing it. In the town, everything is so laggy. Online, like, doesn't even work. It's probably the worst online I've ever seen. Alright. Let me see if there's a drink here that will help.
Howdy, we've got my hunting friend.
And stun him easier, that's probably the way to go. I made enough money to offset it. Just want him down in like 2 cycles, because otherwise he just locks you in hit stun.
If you bring me the finest, do you want true?
Oh, I have to go even higher. Aw, you gotta be kidding me. He's going to have so much health. These ones I were getting were not enough. I gotta go up higher another level. So he's going to have even more health. And basically one-shots. You can't tie this to one of the guys with the sword. The actual fun bosses. You can't do that, huh? You gotta tie it to the most annoying, unfun boss. That barely even fights you. Stands there. I'm pretty sure I don't want to do this today. I thought that that was enough, but it wants me to go up another tier. And when they get up to like 71, they have an insane amount of health. The problem with this boss is it stands around and just spams ads, so I don't know how that's gonna go. I hear that this is the best sword for duelists, but if I have to do that, I think for the sake of my mental health, I'm gonna say no. I think for the sake of my mental health, I'm gonna go ahead and make a tactical retreat. Because I know exactly what pisses me off in games, and it's always fighting lame coward bosses like that. That, like, barely even interact with you. Mostly just stand there.
The finest material...
I know what gets me chrono triggered, and that's exactly... that is exactly what gets me chrono triggered. And stuff like that. It's not worth it. I'll probably do that offline. That's, I think I got a key, didn't I? We can run a key.
If you bring me the finest materials...
And run a key instead. Maybe, the game will be nice to me. Probably would need to, like, change my strategy to kill that boss quick, but I really don't know what would work. I'm kind of questioning what would actually make that not agonizing to do. Because these characters can burst him down really quick, but with the ads and locking you in hit stun and stuff, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. Alright, let's try this. The scaling is weird in this game, and they desperately need to fix it. This game has good combat, but the RPG elements of it are very lacking. Don't feel like they were designed by somebody that has actually played a good grinding game before. That's pretty much what it feels like. They played some, but they don't understand, like, why they're good. That's how you get stuff like fighting the same boss, like, 60 times and getting nothing. Just not something that any modern game should have.
Tearing through. Out of the way. I'll end it. Now.
I'm pretty sure it probably met their sales targets, because, I mean, the thing about this game is, they already made all this stuff, right? It's all repurposed from the mobile game. If they were making all this stuff from scratch, that would be different, but it really is, you know, recycled assets. You probably didn't even have to get the voice actors back to record much of anything. Like, this was very cheap to make, so it's in their best interest to support it. Yeah, if you've got a heavy backlog right now, don't feel like you have FOMO. You're not playing this, like, instantly. That's the thing about FOMO with, like, games that you pay for versus service games. It's like FOMO for games that you actually pay for is kind of not a thing anymore, because most of these medium to large size budget games have completely jacked launches and barely function. It's like, is there really any FOMO at that point?
Now.
FOMO is basically at this point, it's like if you're
Think I'm going to miss?
you're unable to afford something on a sale and like somebody can't spot you,
No. Shut.
or you know in a mobile game, you know you miss the character or something, you gotta wait for them to come back or spend a bunch of money. Those are your only options. FOMO with a game like this basically doesn't exist anymore.
Out of the way.
I guarantee in like 6 months, around the time of my birthday, this game will be like way better.
Take
And we'll
this.
probably have had a significant discount.
I'll end this.
Yeah, if your backlog is popping off right now, you don't really need to go rush out to go get this.
Careless.
Yeah, this game probably costs like nothing to make. It's basically using existing assets in a different way, which is a good thing. I want more games to get offline
Too easy.
microtransaction-free versions like this, but
This is the end.
it doesn't happen as much as you'd
Out
like.
of the way.
So I'm still happy to support this.
Now.
I'm glad that it's doing well, but it's just got so many glaring flaws that, like, shouldn't be a thing at this point. You shouldn't have, like,
Out of
drop
the way.
rates worse than trying to get a 5-star in a gacha game when they're charging $40 for this. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. You already got the money from us, right? Like, what reason is there to be so stingy with the drop rates?
Shut.
There's no microtransactions. You're not pushing us towards donating to the game.
I'll end this.
So, why have stuff like that? It really doesn't make sense.
Open it. I'll end it. Now. Out of the way.
Charging a flat rate for something and you don't have, like, some kind of DLC coming that you need to keep people playing so they'll buy, then I think that the game should not have RNG like this. I think that's a fair expectation. Spend hard-earned money on it. You should be able to, like, make decent progress every day. Today I've basically made no progress at all.
I'll end it.
RNG has just not been kind.
Out of the way. Release. This is the end. Careless. Careless.
I'll open it up.
Careless.
Main thing to fix this game would be making the bosses drop more things. Right now they can only drop 2, right? If they simply doubled it,
Out of the way.
it would make the drop rates a lot better by proxy.
Careless.
But it's also the problem that they have too many trash drops in their pool, which is really bad when they only drop 2 things per kill. It's a very easy thing to fix. The ball's in their court to fix it. But it's not satisfying to kill the same boss like 20 times, and like 15 of those 20 times he doesn't even drop a piece of gear. He literally drops, you know, a crafting material, which I can get somewhere else just by killing like a trash mob. The gameplay loop in this game is just messed up.
I'll end it. Now.
It's like basic stuff, right?
Too easy.
You want enemies to drop something equivalent to the challenge, not have them drop junk.
Take this. This is the end.
A child that's only been playing games for like 3 years can tell you that's something that you do. It's just expected, but that is not what they've done. They really do want you to fight these bosses like 1,000 times and get nothing. He's not gonna drop anything. I already know that much. Each of these bosses has a chance to drop one, but I've only gotten like 1 from doing this out of like 20 runs. It's crazy. Like, I'm really trying to make this duelist guide, but the game is just trolling me at this point. I've definitely put the hours in, I've put the effort in, but I don't think the progress on my account would show it.
Now, shatter! Out of the way! I'll cut you in an instant. It's over. I'll end it. Now! Release!
Alright, time to drop nothing. Drop a useless crafting material. Go ahead. I'm already expecting it.
Careless.
Oh yeah, 19 tokens, thank you. Oh great. How long did it take to get that one drop? That one entry into here. Got nothing. Absolutely nothing. How long is it going to take to get another one?
Sir, the last dispatch went smoothly. All the dangerous zones have been cleared, and all members returned safely.
Alright, I've had enough of this for today. This has been completely fruitless. I've gotten absolutely nothing of note today at all. The only thing I got was those yellow mage gloves. Or like the only thing that's dropped today is this. That's the only thing I've gotten after hours of playing this. Absolutely nothing. Probably sell a lot of these trash drops now, but that's not the point. The point is how much garbage is in here that I won't ever use. Yeah, I think I'm done with this for now. I'm gonna at least give it a break. I've had more than enough. Well, I hope you enjoyed the fruitless, painful grind. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I did all those Shrek kills and got nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was about 2 hours of getting nothing. Like, not one thing dropped, except for those yellow gloves. And gloves are kind of useless unless they're in a set. So, even that is barely anything. Well, Netmarble has a mixed track record on listening. I've heard that the solo leveling Arise team actually does listen pretty well. Who knows if that applies to the paid version. Because my experience with Netmarble is KOF All-Star, and those people were imbeciles, and they did not listen to the community at all. And they didn't seem to understand why the game was making less and less money, and people were a lot less likely to donate to it because they weren't making the changes necessary for people to want to donate. KOF All-Star started with a pretty good combat system. Like, a lot of characters were viable, but as it went on, less and less of the characters were viable. The power creep was out of control, and then, like, the weirdest thing about KOF All-Star was it's the reverse of solo leveling, where there was insane power creep, but the game, like, didn't keep up. Whereas in solo leveling, it's the opposite. In solo leveling, it's like you never really feel strong in that game. You always feel the same. It's like Final Fantasy VIII, right? People didn't like how the enemies leveled up with you. Because it kind of takes away the satisfaction of having RPG elements. It's like, if they just level up with you, or they have some, like, hidden damage threshold mechanic where you're doing less than you should be, what's the point of the action RPG elements? You might as well just make it straight like Monster Hunter then, right? Because most hunting games, you don't really have stats. The stats are only on the armor. There's not really, vertical progression like that, which is how they keep it interesting. The thing about solo leveling is it's trying to be both. and it's not doing particularly good at either. Most of the boss fights, except for that wizard guy I was fighting, there's a couple shit boss fights, but like, most of them are actually pretty good. Especially when you consider that they weren't even designed for like, honest fights to begin with. They're all from a gacha game, right? So, in a gacha game, you don't really even need to make good bosses. I mean, it looks good in videos when people can kill them without taking a hit. That makes the game look really, really good, and it gets people to download it and play it, and then hopefully donate to the game. But it's not a necessity to do that, right? Because essentially you can just swipe. You ever seen like Wuthering Waves? Wuthering Waves is a good example. That game has great boss fights, and they're very well designed, but you ever seen the whales that have way too much money, and they max out all their characters? The bosses die in seconds. They don't need to design them that way. So the fact that Overdrive actually does have pretty good boss fights for the most part, considering that they're made from existing assets, is actually very impressive. It's just the action RPG elements of the game are very flawed. Nothing ever drops unless you're using a busted character like that knight chick. Things just take too long to die. The stat bloat that they get on higher levels is absolutely insane, and it feels like it's built for some other kind of game where like the stats actually do something. Like all those things go against it. It really does feel like the Avengers game was like that too. I don't know if you guys remember that game when I was playing that. That game had decent combat. It was like above average, especially for a Western developed North American game. We know you don't really go to big AAA studios for good combat. And if you do, it's definitely not from the West. It's always some part of Asia. It's historically been like that. The games with good combat from other countries outside of Asia are pretty much all like indie games and stuff, right? That game had pretty good combat, actually, but the loot was horrible. It was very boring. It made no impact. And then when they started doing boss fights, it became very apparent that it wasn't made by like seasoned action game developers. The boss fights were shit. They tried to put a raid in that game, and the raid barely worked because they committed the sin of making it a raid where you actually had to be in like voice chat and everybody had to cooperate, which is always a disaster in any kind of game. You need that much coordination. It's already a disaster, especially if you're playing with randoms. That's where a lot of toxicity in cooperative games comes from. But the problem was, the raid didn't even work. The raid crashed constantly and soft-locked. It's like, you already made the raid not fun to play because the loot was shit. And then, you requiring way too much communication for the raid to be anything but fun. Unless you're playing with people you know from outside the game, meaning, like, if I played that raid with you guys or something, and you guys had the game, it probably would have been fine. But playing with randoms was a disaster. The solo leveling feels like that. The co-op barely works. The co-op it's actually, like, laughable how bad it is. Like, I legit don't understand how you have co-op as a selling point and it works that badly. Like, I do not understand at all. Because it's just like the fighting game problem pre-COVID all over again. The developers don't realize, like, if you don't make good co-op, or, versus, or any kind of net play, if you don't make it good, then people won't stick around. Because solo leveling, is like the perfect kind of game that you'd want to play. But the co-op is terrible. Alright, why is my One Piece not booting up? What do you mean invalid platform? What the hell does that mean? I'm not able to open up Pirate Warriors 4 right now, which is what I feel like playing. Let me try restarting Steam. Yeah, definitely wait on solo leveling. You have literally any other good game in your backlog, please go play that first. Maybe check back in like February or something. Depends on how quickly they patch. Why is this not booting? What the hell? I literally can't boot up this game anymore. It's not working. Why am I getting this error? Why can't I boot anything up? What the hell? What's something else I have? Is like my Steam broken? What the hell happened? It's like not wanting to boot up at all. It's just freezing. Well, the game doesn't even really have much content. It actually reminds me a lot of X-Dive Offline. X-Dive Offline was interesting because the way that they got rid of all the gacha stuff was way better balanced than Overdrive. The thing about X-Dive that was interesting was that the game only had like 30 hours of content. When you got rid of all the time gating and, obvious balancing issues that are there to prevent you from, getting through things too quickly or to get you to spend money, it only had like 30 hours of content. The thing about X-Dive Offline that was different was that the way that they balanced it was much better. You could get through it with crap characters. The progression felt very good. It didn't feel like you ever got, stopped by a progression gate or something. Which is what's weird about Overdrive. That's like the problem with Overdrive. The problem with Overdrive is that it feels like it has these blatant paywalls that I'm sure the mobile game has. I'm sure the mobile game has those paywalls. But, you can't spend money on it. So, that's what's really strange about it. I've played a number of games like that where they feel like they have some kind of mobile game paywall, but there actually isn't. Like, the game just doesn't work. Trying to boot up One Piece. You see here. Well, the gear isn't very interesting. The gear is mostly stat boosts, and there's really only a couple viable sets. It's not a very interesting game for build crafters. It is about as far as from that as you can get. And that's probably a blessing in disguise because the drop rates are so bad anyway. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to fix this issue here. I think I just need to restart my computer. So I'll come back and we'll play like some One Piece or start another game or something, because solo leveling is starting to feel pointless. I want to make a guide for it, but the game is doing its hardest to not let me do that. So I'll be right back. I'm going to try restarting the computer and try to fix it. I'll come back in a couple minutes, hopefully. If I can get the game to load at all, I'll come back. See you in a few.